Dzień dobry, Monika Laskowska, najlepsza polska dziennikarka. Jesteśmy na Prime Time Wrestling and jest ze mną Sydal. Hey, hello, how are you?
Hey, thanks for having me.
The fight was very strong, very tough.
Yeah, I said this ring is really stiff. I landed on my head, I landed on my elbow, but most of all I had a good time.
I can see here real blood. It's yours?
Hey, not mine. I'm too good to bleed. Okay, not this time. But my match didn't have any chairs or tables. But maybe next time when I come back, I'll put somebody through a table.
Your opponent was strong?
Yeah, he was awesome. He's one of the greatest lucha libre wrestlers of all time. So it's the greatest Mexican wrestler against the greatest American light heavyweight wrestler. PTW brings world-class wrestling right here in Poland, and it's such a fun time. It's a party. You can see everybody's enjoying themselves, and that's what wrestling's about. It's about getting a bunch of people together and throwing a party and having a good time, and the music's loud, everybody's having fun. It's rock and roll, but with wrestling, so you get a little sex and violence too, right? That's not bad, is it?
No. It's the best, I think.
Hallelujah.
You have a lot of fans here because you are handsome or because you are a great wrestling fighter?
I think people really respect all the hard work I've put into it. I wasn't built like a wrestler when I started. We sort of changed what pro wrestling was by doing something creative and being innovative, and that's what I'm trying to sell. Is just I know we're in here fighting, but what we're selling is everybody loving everybody and speaking the same language. No matter where I go all over the earth, we do this and people stand up and clap and have a good time, and that's what wrestling does. It unifies people, it brings us all together, you know what I mean? And who doesn't like to see people hitting each other? But in a realm where the consequences aren't that bad, and in fact you can almost laugh while you're having fun, and you know what I mean? That's what PTW is. It's prime time wrestling.
Prime time wrestling. Do you have did you think about fighting in the real MMA or?
If I had started when I was younger, yes, but I just love pro wrestling so much that when I was in college, I was already doing pro wrestling. When I was 17 years old, when I was 15 years old, I was building wrestling rings in my backyard. Wrestling's just in my blood, so I can't imagine doing anything else except this. But I love working, I love MMA, I love it. I watch every fight because I really respect the athleticism and the real, the willpower they have. And I try and channel that willpower in my wrestling, because people don't want to see a bunch of corny stuff. They want to see people digging deep. They want to see peak athleticism. They want to see the craziest flips that you've ever seen. And that's what we deliver. That's the name of the game here.
I can imagine your dream opponent, who is?
My dream opponent is Rey Mysterio Jr. I love wrestling him. He's the greatest of all.
Why him?
Because he's the one who wore a mask and made it the most popular around the world. He's the greatest wrestler that's ever lived, and so when I wrestle him, I feel like I'm at the highest level of the game. But I'll tell you, right under Rey Mysterio is Samurai Del Sol. I mean, these are the greatest of all time, not just of this decade or generation, we're talking all time. So we're living in a great time for pro wrestling because PTW can bring out wrestlers from all over the world. I wrestle for All Elite Wrestling, AEW, and I recommend everybody check that out because we're on TV everywhere, and AEW is nice enough to let me come out to do these events, and we have a lot of fun at them. So thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for the conversation.
Dziękuję.
See you soon in next wrestling.
Yes.
Thank you.